So who are the best of the best in the Canadian Premier League? Well, I'm going to let you know right here in this video with my official 2019 AFC Curtis CanPL Awards show. Now let's get things started. Hey guys, I'm Curtis and this is my channel AFC Curtis, your home for all things Canadian Premier League content right here on YouTube. So if you're new here, maybe consider hitting that red subscribe button. So now with the 2019 season all said and done and a nice little bow's been wrapped on it, the CPL finals is done. Congratulations by the way to Forge FC for winning the North Star Shield there. But of course, you know, and also congratulations to Cavalry FC for having an unbelievable season as well. You know, they did really well despite falling just short of the CPL finals. But now it's time to look at the players this year with my AFC Curtis CanPL Awards, which is all voted, by the way, by you guys, the fans and the followers and subscribers of the Canadian Premier League, as well as my channel AFC Curtis. So thank you guys so much for chiming in. I did not pick any of these awards. I did vote yes, but I only got one vote, just like you guys. I got one vote per category of the 8 categories. So again, I want to thank you guys for voting. Now let's get things started here with the first ever award in the AFC Curtis CanPL Award show history, and that is the Goalkeeper of the Year award. And drum roll please, because the Goalkeeper of the Year is from Cavalry FC, Marco CARDUCCI. So congratulations, Marco. You definitely deserve it. To me, you were the Goalkeeper of the Year this year. It was really tight competition, though, really from the entire course of the season between you, Nate Ingham, as well as you know, Tristan Henry at times. It looked really good. Got better as the season went on, honestly. I thought in the finals he was really good. I thought it was honestly in the finals, the first and second leg was a really good battle between two good goalkeepers. Of course, Connor James there from FC Edmonton, we're all studs this year in the CPL. And you got the good dark horse pick too, and Christian Oxner, who actually finished, I believe it was third in terms of voting for Goalkeeper of the Year this year. So I mean, the fans out there really thought you know, he deserved to be in the running. Second place was Nate Ingham, but ultimately at the end of the day, with the most votes winning was Marco CARDUCCI of Cavalry FC. So congratulations, Marco. Big honor here, and you deserve it. So the International Player of the Year award goes to, from Cavs FC, their Cavalry FC, Domininik Malonga, and definitely a deserving candidate to win this. To me, he ultimately was the best international in the 2019 season. When I did my votes, I did vote for him, as well as quite a lot of you actually. He did win with a good percentage of votes, a little over 45% actually of people voted for Malonga here to win the International Player of the Year award. So congratulations, Domininik Malonga. He did finish in the upper echelons as one of the top goal scorers in the Canadian Premier League in the 2019 season, and really does deserve you know, the nod as ultimately probably, you know, the best player, or best international player I should say, in the Canadian Premier League in 2019, and possibly even in 2020 if he does come back for Cavalry FC. So the Coach of the Year, voted by you guys, the fans, in the Canadian Premier League for the 2019 season, goes to Cavalry FC head coach Tommy Wheeldon Jr. And I mean, you gotta say that he pretty much could have been, you know, or is the best coach in the Canadian Premier League in 2019. He was coaching one of the best built teams in the Canadian Premier League with the best chemistry really from the start. Of course, it did help that he have a good core they took from the 2018 Foothills team there with them to Cavalry. So I mean, it ended up being almost like a winning success right off the bat. Coming in second in votes was Forge FC's head coach Bobby Smirdios, who also did a really good job this year building up Forge FC, who went on to win the Canadian Premier League Championship. So that's a pretty good consolation prize if you're Bobby Smirniotis. But that is, Tommy Wheeldon Jr. is your AFC Curtis CanPL pick as the head coach of the year. The U21 Player of the Year goes to Forge FC's Tristan Borges this year. And I mean, this is actually one of the two tightest races, if not the tightest race, now that I think of it, that you guys voted for. I mean, the votes were all over the place. There's a three-way battle the entire voting campaign for this, and finishing in first place, winning by just 2 votes, ended up being Borges here. Second, of course, was Pacific FC's Campbell, and third ended up being Tyler Tardo, who, I mean, all 3 of them are really great under 21 players, so they definitely deserve to be the finalists for this award. But ultimately, Tristan Borges does win it. It's hard to, you know, compete when the guy did win the Golden Boot of the league this year. And it's definitely a favorite, and everyone's favorite, I want to say, for the MVP award in the Canadian Premier League for their award show, plus in the AFC Curtis award show, which is obviously pretty big award to win. Let's be honest here. The defender of the Canadian Premier League season in 2019, voted by you guys, the fans, goes to Cavalry FC defender Dominic ZATOR, who just finished a couple votes, 3 votes ahead actually of Amir Didic of FC Edmonton. But it was a really tight race for those two, just competing in terms of the guys' votes for the entire 2-3 week window that had the voting up and running for the awards here. But Dom ZATOR ultimately did deserve to win this. I mean, he had a great season this year. Probably should have got called up quite a few times for the Canadian men's national team this year. Arguably, you know, just maybe slightly ultimately after the finals and all that, and even before the finals, definitely I think is probably now just a little bit ahead of Didic as ultimately the best defender in the Canadian Premier League. So I mean, again, you guys saw that, you guys voted for him and the masses there, which is great, and he ends up deservingly winning the Defender of the Year award. So congratulations to Dominic ZATOR of Cavalry FC. Now the Midfielder of the Year award goes to Forge FC's Tristan Borges. Now this one here is actually, again, it was sort of tight at the beginning, but as the voting went on the last week or so, Tristan Borges just ran away with this votes. Coming in second and third ended up being Kyle Becker and Julian Boucher respectively there in 2 and 3. But Tristan Borges ultimately, again, you know, he deserves it. He played, you know, he did play forward at times. He also played attacking mid quite a bit throughout the season as well, and I thought made his best stamp as an attacking mid for Forge FC. And ultimately, you guys went out there and voted by the masses too, and thought that he was the best midfielder in the Canadian Premier League in 2019. So congratulations, Tristan Borges, the Golden Boot winner, U21 Player of the Year, and definitely in the running for MVP, which we'll find out who wins at the end of this video. So stay tuned. Alright guys, the second last trophy of the night is the Forward of the Year in the Canadian Premier League, and that goes to, from Pacific FC, TERRAN Campbell. So you guys voted for him, and here he is, TERRAN Campbell, who despite having a really good season, I do feel kind of gets left behind in a lot of talks for MVP conversation. And don't worry, because he's in that conversation, at least because of you guys voting for him in the MVP award race, which I'll announce the MVP winner in just a few minutes here, in just a sec. But just to touch on him here, he definitely deserves to be up there. He's one of the leading goal scorers for like literally since I think June onward. He's one of the hottest goal scorers in the Canadian Premier League. Finished with double-digit goals this year. I believe he actually finished third, if I'm not mistaken, just remembering now, in the Golden Boot race this year for the overall season. So I mean, this guy, super talented. Like I said though, he's kind of under the radar talented. A lot of people didn't really have him on their team of the year. He just missed out on my team of the year. But because of you guys, he's the Forward of the Year, because you guys love him out there, so he definitely deserves it. Coming in second ended up being Cavs forward Dominic Malonga, and third was York Nines forward Ryan Telfer there. So I mean, a great three player race, but ultimately winning actually by a huge margin was TERRAN Campbell, Pacific FC. Alright guys, the MVP of the 2019 Canadian Premier League season, voted by you guys, goes to Forge FC's Tristan Borges. So congratulations, Tristan Borges. You are the 2019 Canadian Premier League MVP, voted by the fans of the Canadian Premier League, of course. Coming in second, and actually, you know, kind of made it kind of close toward the end. He started to pick up some steam, was TERRAN Campbell, Pacific FC, in terms of votes, and third was Ryan Telfer from York 9. But ultimately, Tristan Borges there wins it, you know, and with a pretty decent margin there. He definitely showed throughout the entire 2019 season that he probably was the best player in the Canadian Premier League, and was the most valuable player in the Canadian Premier League. And who knows, hopefully, maybe, possibly, could be returning in 2020 for Forge FC, or if, you know, he doesn't return, I'm sure he'll go out and play either in a higher level league like the MLS or even the Belgium top division and show his quality over there. So I think, you know, he's definitely a great winner for the inaugural MVP of the AFC Curtis CanPL Awards, and quite possibly Player of the Year for the Canadian Premier League. So those are my picks. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Well guys, that was my video this week. If you like what you saw, definitely hit that thumbs up button. That like button shows me like content just like this. And of course, if you're new here, maybe consider hitting that red subscribe button if you want to see more great content about the Canadian Premier League just like this. And of course, you can also watch my content over at the northernstarting11.com. I'll have a link for that website down in the description below. You're going to want to check that out because there's a bunch of great soccer related podcasts, vidcasts all down there. And until next time guys, thank you so much for watching.